Happy birthday!
Today was Peppa's birthday, and Mummy and Daddy Pig had organised a big surprise for Peppa. Unfortunately, Daddy Pig had to work that morning, but said that he would join them for the big surprise later, and off he went. Mummy Pig, George and Peppa then got into the car and drove to the train station. "I wonder where we're going," said Peppa. "You'll have to wait and see," said Mummy. Thomas arrived and they all jumped on board and off they set. Eventually they pulled up at a station where they got off. Peppa immediately saw the Mickey Mouse Dream Railway train on the other platform. "Wow," said Peppa, "this has only just opened. What a lovely surprise." "We've got an even bigger surprise for you later," said Mummy. Peppa and George climbed aboard the Mickey Mouse train. Mummy stayed behind. She didn't like heights. The magical train pulled away.
Happy, happy birthday, we're all here just to say happy, happy birthday, it's your very special day. We're all here to celebrate a most important special day. We're gonna party and we'll play because you were born today. Happy, happy birthday, we're all here just to say happy, happy birthday, it's your very special day. We're so glad we get to sing and send the joy this song will bring. You're our very special friend who we'll love till the end. Happy, happy birthday, we're all here just to say happy, happy birthday, it's your very special day.
After quite a long time, the train stopped, but not at the station. "What's happened?" said Peppa. Peppa and George climbed out to see what was wrong. Then, what a surprise! Mummy and Daddy Pig, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse and Donald Duck all appeared from behind the trees. Mickey, Minnie and Donald all had presents for Peppa. They also had a big birthday cake. Everybody sang happy birthday.
Happy, happy birthday, we're all here just to say happy, happy birthday, it's your very special day.
Peppa blew out the candles. What a fantastic birthday surprise! "Thank you everyone," said Peppa. Madame Gazelle was giving Peppa and George a lift in her car. They were going to the park to go on the new roller bumper car ride. At the park, they met their friends Rebecca and Candy. Madame Gazelle didn't like heights, so she'd bought a book to read. The first two cars were pushed into the station by Thomas. Peppa and George jumped in and off they went. They bumped around the track before going into the steep climb. It was a long way down. They got nearer the edge of the drop and Thomas pushed Peppa over. George followed and they bumped at the bottom. Percy was now pushing Rebecca and Candy. Wow, what fun! Thomas and Percy then pushed Peppa, George, Rebecca and Candy all over the place. In the end, they were all quite giddy and pleased to get out of the cars. They told Madame Gazelle how much fun they'd had and then started their journey home. Peppa and her friends were waiting at their local station for the train that was to take them to see the palace. The train today was Rosie. Rosie arrived and they all hopped on board. Off they went. Today was a special day at the palace. They were going to open a very large Polly Pocket Kinder Surprise egg, and Peppa and her friends wanted to see what was inside. They'd never been to the palace before. As Rosie got them nearer, they saw the palace through the trees. Wow, that's amazing! And look at the size of that egg! Rosie arrived at the palace station, and Peppa and her friends got out onto the platform. They walked to the palace lawns and looked up at the palace. We must go on a palace tour, but first let's have a ride on the My Little Pony egg train to get a close look at the egg. Peppa and Rebecca jumped in first and off they went, driven by Pinkie Pie. Then Susie and Zoe, and finally Emily and Candy. After the ride, they all went to look around the palace. Emily went upstairs while Zoe looked in what seemed like a witch's room with a cauldron. Emily looked at the blue bedroom. And Candy looked in the pink bedroom. Susie went in the kitchen. Peppa and Rebecca went to the playroom. Come on, Rebecca, it's not yours. Then they all sat down outside for a well-earned ice cream. Peppa and Candy then went into the crown room and tried on 2 of the crowns. Everyone else joined in and they moved to the throne room where they all posed for some photos. Poor Emily, her ears were too big for her crown. Tour over, they went outside again for the egg opening and they all gathered around the giant egg. The opening began. giant Polly Pocket doll. They just had time to watch the fireworks before going home. Peppa, George and Zoe were going for a picnic in their camper van. Mummy and Daddy Pig were busy today, so Kitty was driving. They all got in and off they drove. "This seems like a good spot," said Kitty. "I'm hungry," said George. "Let's eat." They all helped get the table and chairs out of the camper van. "Where's George?" said Zoe. George had found the food, but the hamper was too heavy for him. Peppa took the hamper and brought it to the table. "I'm really hungry now," said George. Peppa was just about to get the food out when they heard a train in the distance. "Look," said Zoe. "It's Thomas, Annie and Clarabelle." They all watched as Thomas went past. "Come on," said George, "the food." But they then heard another train. This time it was the Hello Kitty train, and on board was their friend Susie. They all waved. The food was now on the table, but at that precise moment it started to pour with rain. "I don't mind wet food," said George, but the girls started packing it all away. George had a few problems with the table, but they still got everything packed away. "What shall we do now?" said George. "I really am very hungry." Kitty said she knew somewhere where they could eat, and they drove off in the rain. When they reached the cafe, they all saw the cakes in the window. Wow! George was out first, but they all quickly followed. Inside, in the dry, they ordered a plate of the biggest cupcakes you've ever seen. They all helped themselves, and George ate his in one gulp. "What a greedy pig you are, George," said Peppa. They all finished their cakes and went outside. It had stopped raining by now, and the cafe was next to a park. "Let's go on the slide," said George, and they all followed. The rain had made muddy puddles at the bottom of the slide, and one by one they all landed in them, getting covered in mud. They all agreed it had been a very good day. Peppa Pig and her friends were on a school outing. They were visiting the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre, and Belle, the firefighting tank engine, was telling Madame Gazelle, Peppa's teacher, and her class all about the work of the rescue centre. Belle explained that she gets to fires by using the railway tracks, but that they also have a big red fire engine that uses the roads. A fireman then arrived with the red fire engine for the class to look at. They all gathered round and looked at the fire hoses and other rescue tools. "Right," said Madame Gazelle, "I need a volunteer to do something very special." Peppa immediately volunteered. "OK, Peppa, I'll choose you." Just then they heard a loud siren. "Oh, is that my surprise?" said Peppa. "No," said Belle, "that means that someone is in trouble and I've got to go and rescue them." "Can we come?" said the class. "No, it's too dangerous for you, I'm afraid. You stay here." With that, Belle rushed off on the rails. She followed Flynn to a fire on the other side of the island. Peppa had to get changed and came back with a yellow fire coat. "Where's your safety helmet, Peppa?" She had forgotten it, but fetched it quickly. "Right, hop inside," said the fireman, "and we're going on a practice rescue. We'll see you all in a minute." The engine left with Peppa inside for a short journey. In the meantime, Belle and Flynn had arrived at their real fire. At the rescue centre, Peppa and the fire engine met Madame Gazelle and the class at a tree where a toy cat was stuck up at the top. The fire engine reversed up to the tree. Peppa was now going to rescue the cat. She climbed out of the cab, got onto the roof and swung the ladder into position. She then climbed up the ladder and rescued the toy Hello Kitty. All the class cheered. Meanwhile, back at the real fire, Belle and Flynn put the flames out to a round of applause from the assembled crowd and were getting ready to return. Back at the centre, Peppa was once again on the ground, showing the class the rescued Hello Kitty. Everyone agreed that it had been a fabulous school outing and that they had learned a lot about rescues. Peppa Pig and Thomas the Tank Engine were at the starting line of a scavenger hunt. They had to hunt for items they would need to solve a number of puzzles. Overseeing the event was Peppa's teacher, Madame Gazelle. They were off. Their first task was to find as many letter tiles as they could and return to the starting line. There they would find an iPad that has been fitted with the recently released Osmo base and cleverly designed mirror fitted over the camera. The iPad had 3 Osmo apps downloaded onto it, and the first app Peppa was to undertake was called Words. They then unloaded the tiles in piles, which actually spelt out the name of someone we know. Peppa pressed the start. A picture appeared as a clue, and Peppa had to guess what it meant and find the correct letters and place them in front of the iPad. Peppa chose R, and she was instantly told she was right, but I think the R went in a different place to the one Peppa was thinking. I bet you thought that was a robot, Peppa. Peppa thought hard and continued. When you get a letter wrong, the iPad places the letter at the top and you continue to play. This game is usually played by 2 people competing against each other, but today it was just Peppa. There's a link in this video's description to see full details of the Osmo product and apps. Peppa finished. Well done, Peppa. Peppa only had to solve 1 puzzle today, but there are hundreds. Their second task was a tangram, and first they had to collect 7 brightly coloured shapes. While they were doing this, Madame Gazelle had a closer look at the iPad and somehow managed to turn it off. George, Peppa's younger brother, showed Madame Gazelle how to turn it on. "Ah, grown-ups," he said. "We haven't got Wi-Fi in the classroom," said Madame Gazelle. "Doesn't matter," said George. "Once you've downloaded the app, you can use it anywhere." Peppa and Thomas were just finishing collecting the shapes. A shape appeared on the screen in black and white, and Peppa had to place the coloured pieces in the right place in front of the iPad. When correct, the colour appeared straight away on the screen, giving instant feedback. "This is clever," said Madame Gazelle. "No sensors, just natural wood pieces and mirrors. Clever." Peppa pushed the last piece into place. "Well done, Peppa. You only have to do 1 puzzle today. Now back to Thomas." Their last task was called Newton, and for this Peppa and Thomas needed to collect some everyday objects. Thomas thought the docks were a good place to go. A banana. The curve on the banana could be very useful, said Peppa, and I can eat it afterwards. Next, she saw a Hello Kitty toy. That's an interesting shape, and I can then play with it. She then stepped out and put her foot in a lump of Play-Doh, said Peppa. That would be useful, because I can make it whatever shape I want. They thought 3 objects would be enough and returned to the iPad. Now Peppa had to place her real objects to direct falling balls on the screen, aiming them at a stationary target. Peppa was doing well. She finished the 1 target game and started on the 2 target game. As you can see, anything placed on the ground is immediately converted into gameplay. But it's certainly easier to move them around when your hand is not inside a glove puppet. Peppa finished. Well done, Peppa. If you want to make learning fun and do the same puzzles Peppa did, and hundreds more, just follow the link in the video description. It turned out Thomas and Peppa had the fastest time and won the Scavenger Cup trophy.
All passengers should be on board Bahamas Airways flight.
It was a sunny day on the Isle of Sodor. Peppa Pig was standing next to some colourful track. It looks like she's waiting for someone. Soon, Thomas appeared next to her. "Hello, Peppa," said Thomas. "Are you looking for something?" he asked. "I'm waiting for Ember Flickerflame. I'm going to ride her new train with her," said Peppa. "That sounds like fun," said Thomas. "I should be able to hear her coming," smiled Peppa. Suddenly, music could be heard in the distance. "Yay, she's here," smiled Peppa excitedly. "Hello, Peppa. Sorry I'm late," said Ember. "What are you waiting for? Climb in." Here we go! But the train would not stop. "Oh no!" exclaimed Ember. "What are we going to do?" "I know," said Peppa. "We could call Grandad Dog. He's a mechanic. He'll be able to fix it." "I'll go and get him," said Thomas, and chuffed away. Soon, Grandad Dog arrived and got out of his pickup truck, had a look at the engine. "Ah, common problem. You ran out of battery. Luckily, I've got a spare one in my truck," and Grandad Dog got the spare battery. There you go. It should work now. "Thank you," Ember and Peppa said together, and off they went, and they both enjoyed a fun train ride.
Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!